Spend the day at sea with us on board the Disney Dream in Europe. This is day 3 of our 11-night Disney cruise through Northern Europe. So let's get to it. One thing I will warn you about this video is that there's a lot of mention of food. There weren't a ton of activities happening on the ship on this day, so we took the time to enjoy the ship, relax, and, well, we ate a lot. I started off my day with a walk around deck 4 and the top deck, which I always do when I'm on a Disney cruise. It's a nice way to get some sunshine and a little exercise. Then I went to Cove Cafe and got a latte and a croissant. We had a Remy brunch reservation this morning, so I wanted something small just to hold me over until our reservation. I took some time just to enjoy being at sea and read a book that I had been putting off. When it was time to check in for Remy, we waited in Meridian, the lounge between Remy and Apollo on the Disney Dream. There is a dress code for both of these restaurants, so make sure you dress accordingly. We were led into the restaurant, and as you enter, make sure you pay attention to all of the little ratatouille details. They are everywhere. Pay attention to the wine case as you enter, and you will see a 1947 bottle of wine that is a nod to the film Ratatouille, considered one of the best vintages in the world. A single bottle of this retails for over $25,000. You can see the little chef by the light fixture, beautiful wood carvings of Remy in the chairs, and little Remy's in the upholstery in the booths. The space itself is beautiful with gorgeous sweeping ocean views. At Remy, there is no menu to select food from. They create a menu for you and they bring it out to you one course at a time. Because of this, it's extremely important that you let them know ahead of time if you have an allergy, a dietary restriction, or if there's something you just don't like. I called the first day on the ship and requested no seafood, so we got a few different things than what would have been served with the regular menu. The server starts you out with a glass of champagne. This comes with the meal, but if you want any additional after this, you'll need to pay for it. The meal then continues with bread and butter, and this comes with 3 types of the most delicious butter I have ever had. This includes regular butter, red pepper butter, and seaweed butter, and also comes with a small salt pot. So you can adjust the saltiness to your liking. After the bread service, it was time for pea soup and prosciutto. Now the pea soup kind of tasted almost like a pea ice cream, if that's such a thing. It was a very interesting texture, but mixed together, they were very good. We were told that they were meant to be eaten together, so that's how we tried them. Alone, they were really just so-so, but blended together, it was a delicious combination. In place of seafood for the next course, we were given gnocchi, which may have just been the absolute best gnocchi I've ever had. It was super light, like little clouds. It was just so rich and flavorful, very creamy, and I could have eaten an entire meal of this. Next up is the cannelloni, which was filled with beef and very hearty. This was a nice surprise. I've never had cannelloni like this. And then what I considered one of the best dishes of the meal, short rib and beet ravioli. This again was in place of a seafood dish, so this isn't something you'd probably always get unless you request no seafood. But the short rib was so tender and the ravioli was perfectly cooked. I was a little nervous at first because I don't generally tend to love the earthiness of beets, but this was probably one of my favorite courses of the entire meal. It just ended up being so delicious and very satisfying. Then next was the poulet rouge, which is a panko crusted chicken on top of root vegetables and mushrooms. This was good, but I do have to say, after having the short rib, it was not as good. For dessert, we were given baba vanille, which is kind of like a light little cake and vanilla custard. It also comes with syrup to add some extra sweetness. This dessert was very light and very good, and I loved that it wasn't too sweet. And then our server brought us some coffee and cannelle that we were allowed to take back to the room with us. We were so full at this point. I don't think we even ate one while we were at the restaurant. This meal was fantastic and the service was very elevated, but the cost for Remy Brunch is quite high, starting at $80 per person, If you love feeling fancy, this is a great option for you. We were eating here to celebrate my daughter's graduation, so for us, it was a very special occasion. In the future, we will likely only come back for other special occasions. Like I said, it is pretty pricey, and I don't really feel the need to eat there on every cruise. After brunch, we attended a character dance party in the atrium, which was super cute and a lot of fun. We took some time to relax and then headed up to deck 11 to grab a late lunch. We were still pretty full from brunch, so we didn't eat again until around 4 and decided just to stick with the quick serve options. Around this time, cabanas and the main dining room will both be closed for lunch, but you can always order room service any time of day. Then we went to Vanellope's for some desserts. Treats and gelato here do cost extra, but if you watch our embarkation day video, then you might remember how bad the soft ice looked, so we opted for gelato instead. You can get different flavors and toppings, as well as other treats like bakery items and prepackaged snacks. All of these do cost extra, so just be sure to take a look at the menu to see the prices before you order. Trivia was being held at Pub 687, and that was also during happy hour, so we decided to stop by. If you do drink, happy hour is the best time to buy drinks when possible. Most drinks are about 50% off, and you can save a lot of money if you plan to buy drinks most days during the happy hour time. The Golden Mickey's was the show for this night, but we decided to skip it because we had just seen it on the Disney Wonder a couple of months ago, and it's actually not one of my favorite shows. So instead, we decided to take advantage of the Rainforest Room, which was completely empty. Since everyone was either at a show or at dinner, this was a great time for us to basically have the whole thing to ourselves. Then we grabbed some before dinner drinks from Bon Voyage, and I found my new favorite, the Limoncino Spritz. This was so light and refreshing. It was delicious. I loved having this all throughout our European cruise. And then we headed to Enchanted Garden for dinner. This restaurant is located on deck 2 of the Disney Dream, themed around an arboretum in gardens in Versailles. It has a lot of fun little details if you take the time to notice them, and the flowers actually open and close during your dinner. But it also has some Alice in Wonderland touches, as you can see on the menu. We started with the heirloom tomato soup and lobster ravioli, both of which were delicious. For our entrees, we got the Majorum scented roast chicken and the slow roasted prime rib. The chicken on Disney cruises are often a little bit dry, and that was the case with this chicken as well. And for dessert, we had the pecan tart and the sticky date pudding. The sticky date pudding is one of my favorite desserts that we had on the Disney Dream. I highly recommend it if you like something a little sweeter. After dinner, we got to meet Mickey in the atrium. We got to our room to find our little lobster towel friend left by the stateroom host and ended our night. Day 4 was a big day for us, arriving in Sweden, and we wanted to be well rested, so we turned in early. We hope you have enjoyed seeing what our day at sea on the Disney Dream in Europe was like. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.